NBC makes a major move in favor of fans. Austin Dillon's appeal goes to final appeal. And NASCAR team is looking for sponsorship and some other stories. So let's get into it. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. All right, NBC said during Green Flag they're not going to have any full screen commercials. So let's jump into that real quick. I saw it on NASCAR Time, but it is from Adam Stern. NBC Sports is going to experiment new ways to display advertisement during this week's races at Daytona, Atlanta, and Talladega, showing no full-screen commercials during Green Flag action, per Adam Stern. So the first part of that is something that people have been asking for the longest time. No full-screen commercials during Green Flag action. I think this is a no-brainer. I don't know why it took this long, but definitely a really cool thing that NBC finally listened to the fans and did this. And it's a big win because fans have been asking for this for the longest time. So the fact that NBC actually did this and actually listened to the fans, I think is going to curry a lot of favor with them going forward. Most people prefer NBC's coverage already to Fox's coverage, but I think this right here, no matter what flaws NBC has going forward, they used to have like the Dale Jr. shield in front of them. I think this is going to shield them from a lot of normal criticism that they might get otherwise, because they are going with this particular model. Because like I said, the fans asked for this for so long. Of course, it didn't say anything about full screen commercials going away completely, and that means during caution you will still have full screen commercials, and I don't think that that's even going to remotely be a big deal, because cautions are when people get up to get snacks, go use the restroom, whatever they need to do. Cautions are always that built-in break time anyway, so I think a full screen commercial during cautions and things like that is not really going to move the needle one way or the other. The only possible argument I could see somebody having is them saying that they're going to make the cautions longer because they're going to try to squeeze more commercials into it. But as I see it, the cautions are way, way too long as it is anyway. NASCAR has been really sort of like lackadaisical on getting the cautions sped up or anything like that. So I don't think that's really even going to factor into it. I don't think it'll lengthen the cautions as it stands anyway. And for people that are like, how can they guarantee this? You don't know that you're going to have a caution in every single race. Well, you kind of do, because they do have the two built-in cautions. So no matter what, they are going to have the two built-in cautions with the two stage breaks. Three if you go to the Coke 600, I guess you could say. So you do have at least two already built in. So they will squeeze all those commercials in there, I guess, if they don't get a natural caution throughout the race or something like that. So it's going to be super interesting how it plays out, how they work them in, and how they work that system, not going full screen during the green action. This makes NBC the first main major network to make this particular move with a motorsport. Now, I know on cable TV, ESPN, they take the Sky broadcast, and it's no commercials over there on ESPN, but that's cable. That's what I'm saying. Main major mainstream network over here at NBC with motorsports coverage. This is the first one that's going to be commercial free, or at least not commercial free, but it'll be side by side. They won't be going away from the action. So a big move from them there. Finally joining the age of social media and, streaming and things like that. They're finally catching up. They're being drugged against their will, and they're catching up to the way social media and how everybody just consumes content now. They don't want commercials blocking, completely blocking the action going on the racetrack, or missing any action on the racetrack because, the commercial takes the full screen altogether. At least in the U.S., I should say. I know my friends in England, they've had a different TV program thing going on for a long time. They haven't had commercials because when they pay for theirs, they just, whatever you pay for your package, I guess, or whatever, at least since the 90s. So we're finally catching up to TV in England in the 90s, and the Saudi feed, I guess we should say. I try to work the Saudi feed reference in there any opportunity I get, because it's just an inside joke on the live stream. RCR, no surprise, lost the initial appeal. It will go to final appeal. Here is Richard Childress Racing's statement on it. Richard Childress Racing is disappointed in the results of today's hearing in front of the National Motorsports Appeal Panel. We respect the NASCAR appeals process, but we do not believe that today's outcome reflects the facts presented. We plan to appeal the decision to the final appeal officer. So pretty much just going to final appeal. Nothing has really changed since the other one. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of words on this one because I got all my thoughts out on the other video. Plus, for whatever reason, this one is super contentious. People are just really up in arms about this particular deal. So it is what it is. I'll wait till the actual final appeal comes before dropping, whatever I thought about it. But I had seen a pretty common question, and Bob Pockrass did address it, so I'll read that one. Eric22 asking, really? I mean, what leg are they standing on that they feel they could go to a final appeal? To which Bob Pockrass responded, my guess is arguing they did not violate the rule based on how NASCAR has interpreted the rule in past instances of where there was contact for the win. Which is pretty much what I said in my other video. That's the argument that they're going to use to try to get it overturned. So we'll see how it happens. The one thing that did come from this that does change is the spotter was suspended, I think, for 3 races. They reduced that to 1 race, which he's already served. So he will be back in Daytona, which is probably a good thing. Daytona is a track where you want to have some camaraderie or some familiarity with your spotters. That's probably a good thing overall for everybody there. Ever wanted to be on the side of a race car? Well, here's your opportunity. MBM Motorsports, attention business leaders, we have a Southern 500 sale for Darlington you cannot afford to miss. Email, there's the email address right there, to take advantage of this chance to be on a NASCAR Cup car in one of the longest tenured and most prestigious races of the year. Sale prices, logo location, and number of guests. $15K for the upper door and quarter panels, gets you 6 VIP passes, and of course you'll be on the side of the car. $7.5K, you get the back bumper, 4 VIP passes. $3.6K, you get the trunk lid, 3 VIP passes. $3K, lower quarter panels, 2 VIPs. $2.5, you get the roof back glass, 2 VIPs. Or $2.5, you can get the C-post above the rear quarter windows, and that gets you 2 VIP passes. Goes on to say, let's strike a deal and go racing Labor Day weekend. Says nothing about the hood, but the hood is normally double, at least in late models, what the quarter panels would be. So I would say 30 to 40 on the hood. So you're looking at 70-something to 80-something probably altogether to sponsor the whole deal if you want to sponsor MBM. And I thought it was interesting because you very rarely get to see the finances of the lower level teams. Obviously, we know it's about, $26 million, I think they said, for a full season with Joe Gibbs. So we got the finances for the big teams. But here at the lower levels, the guys just trying to make races and things like that, it is interesting to see the financials and how big of a disparity in the gaps of the money that you would pay sponsor-wise to get on the sides of the cars. So pretty cool. Hopefully, Carl Long and the gang over there at MBM get it figured out. Big fan of Carl Long, so anytime I can get some Carl Long news on here, I try to, and hope they get it done over there. And no, I will not be blowing my entire YouTube budget to be on the side of the car, so we'll just shut that down before I see it in the comments. And finally, to wrap things up, Parker Kligerman gets hit with a penalty. The rear spoiler was out of tolerance, so they got hit with a 20-point penalty, which takes him from 36 points above Ryan Sieg for the last spot to 16 points above Ryan Sieg, so still in the same spot, but less points separate him and Ryan Sieg for the final 16th spot in the playoffs in the Xfinity Series. The crew chief there also got a 25K or 20K, I think it was 25K fine. So that is that, and that's all I got for you on this one. If you made this far, I would love to have your subscription. If not, I'll just keep making these things. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate you as well. If you got a question, comment, or anything like that, leave it down in the comments section. If you want to help out the channel, visit the merch store. And when you buy a hat, you get a free t-shirt. So there you go. All right, that's all I got for you. Peace.